See, underground is where the draconian overlords live. They live underground. They are not able, they are not capable to shapeshift into a human form like these lizard people can, or the hybrids can. You want to call them white people, whatever you want to call them. See, the white people, you want to call them white people, the puss buckets, the hybrid lizard people, the shapeshifters. They can change forms. When I was in Tucson, Arizona, I witnessed, and this might just make my gang stalk and my John Wick program ramp up even more. I don't give a motherfucker. Cause guess what, bitch? It's gonna be out with a bang. And it ain't gonna be me going out, bitch. See, the shapeshifters, they could walk on the surface because they have intercourse with some of us. Well, not us, well, not me, but they have intercourse with some that have the newer melanin. They have eaten and feasted off those who have the newer melanin. I remember when I was in Hawaii, they called that island Hawaii, but honestly, from my perspective, the name of that island is called Monster Island because everybody and everything that was on that island besides myself was not newer melanin. It was not an Eterian. It was not an ether. We are the Eterians. And when I was on Hawaii, they were hybrids. Some of them was lizard people. And then some of, you want to call them Hawaiian, China people. Majority of Hawaii is taken over by China. But the ones that they call the natives of the Hawaiians, they are hybridized with mermaids, and they are hybridized with different other underwater fish species. Now you got the white man, the reptoid, the reptilian, the lizards, the hybrids, right? So one of their main bases for the lizards, the reptoids, the reptilians, is in Arizona. They hate me out there. They hate me there more than anything. I even ran into a couple skinwalkers. Or you want to call them Wendigo. That'll be another story. But in actuality, these stories are just comedies and parodies. The soundtracks of my life. YouTube, I do not own the rights to this music or this story. But this is my life. They say fiction is stranger than nonfiction, but fiction has more truth than anything. And he put the nonfiction in that category so that you'll never figure it out. And so in Arizona, Arizona is their main base, right? That's one of their main bases. Because they love the high air. They love it. You'll think to yourself like, shouldn't they skin be burning and peeling and shit? Yeah, they shed just like lizards. But they like the hot air. They like that. Don't lizards like hot environments? Don't bearded dragons like heated lamps? Yeah. So the draconians, the lizard overlords, they live mostly in Arizona. Under all those rocks. They live in Superstition Mountain. You can go in and Google that, YouTube it, but don't you go in there by yourself. They live in superstitious mountains. And if you ever want to either get these lizards stuck into their true form to where they can't shapeshift, you will have to call them by their first name, the name that they are all called by. You have to call them by their first name. Names, see the names, that's why your name is your name, because it carries a certain vibration. Rather positive nor negative, or negative. Your name carries a specific vibration. And the Draconian Overlords, the Grandmaster Lizards, they are in their lizard form forever. They are not able to shapeshift into hybrid humanoid form. So they stay underground. And their children, which are the shapeshifters, the hybrids, the pus buckets, the caucasoids, the caudacities, the audacities of these fucking caucasoids. They are the ones that can hide. They can shapeshift. They could go from either feature, but they're not as strong as the Grandmasters are. See, the Grandmaster Lizards and the Grandmaster Reptilians, aka Draconians, they are strong, and they have a higher form of telepathy, and they also have an evil beam. They have a red evil beam. Why you think that these pus buckets, these white people, you want to call them, so you say, they are so fascinated with the laser? Because the Grand Masters of the lizard race, they have that. That's the true form of the evil eye. That's the true form of the side eye. The Grand Masters can perform that. It's a dangerous laser beam. That's natural. Not like them running around with these goddamn infrared lasers and lasers that they create. They have that naturally as one of their genetic features. The Grandmaster Lizards, the Grandmaster Lizard people, the Grandmaster Reptoids, Reptiles, Reptilian, the Grandmaster Draconians. They live underground. Okay? They live underground. Like I said, their main base is in Arizona. They got some that live in Sydney, Australia too. They are different breeds of these motherfucking reptoids, reptiles, and reptilians. And then the other breed of the reptiles, reptoids, reptilians is the frogs. I want you to look up in Denver, Colorado for this insurance company that have a frog on it. And you'll see 2 white men on it. That's their representatives. They could shapeshift as well. It's a full moon right now. Y'all want to call it the blood moon or whatever, but right now it's a full moon, so it's a lot hitting me right now. Can't even get no sleep. And all of these different islands that people think are just islands to go tour and shit and all of that, they are different species of things that exist there. That's why they only want you to tour there. Unless you're a part of their Masons or Freemasons, you're a witch or a warlock, or you are just as much of a shapeshifter as they are. But they hide it in plain sight. That is another reason why they have all of these underground tunnels. They can travel through these underground tunnels. That's how they travel, through these underground tunnels. These tunnels is deep. There are underground tunnels everywhere. There are underground tunnels to every island. Every island that they got on the map and every island that they do not display, they all have underground tunnels. and they lead to some of the main bases. I mean, they got an underground tunnel to Hawaii that leads to Arizona. A lot of these underground tunnels from different islands lead to Hawaii. I mean, they lead to Arizona. And the thing about some of these lizard motherfuckers is, what do lizards do? They are capable of growing back specific limbs and body parts. So when it comes to killing the Grandmaster Draconian lizard people and also the hybrid lizard people, you gotta cut them up real good. Like you at a construction site and you got that saw blade, you gotta chop their ass the fuck up. You gotta cut them up real good. Make sure you cut them up real good, because specific body parts may be able to regenerate, or maybe they could stop certain dramatic losses of blood till they could go and heal themselves. And you wonder what's their medicine of healing themselves, okay? Some of these motherfuckers eat mermaids. Yes, mermaids exist. I went to Santa Monica. I seen the mermaid. I was in Hawaii. I seen the mermaid. And especially when I was in Hawaii, I saw hybrid mermaid people. Why you think they have the chemtrails? Why you think they poison your food? Why you think they give you the fast food, the junk food, and the processed food? To fucking shut down your pineal gland, or aka your 1985 Day Live glasses. I'm about to go on a dramatic fast. I am about to, because there's higher information that I must gather from the ethers. But as long as your vehicle, your boat to give you across the rivers of life, which I will call your body, your church, as long as that is full with heavy metals, it also transports those heavy metals to your temple, to your heaven, to your haven, which is your cerebral, which is your mind. Now, do not get it misconstrued, because your first mind, your first brain is within your gut. And then one of the second biggest brains on your body, which is aka your organs is just different brains. You don't have just one brain that's sitting in your fucking skull cap. Every organ is a brain. They call it organisms. You have different organisms that make up the body, but they will indoctrinate you and tell you that they are different organs. Even your skeletal structure and your teeth is different organs. So they trick the whole world to get fucking veneers and get chiclets, because they are weakening you. They are weakening you. I mean, if your fucking mouth ain't fucking riding like a motherfucker, keep whatever teeth you got. I don't care if you don't have the brightest teeth. I don't care if you don't have all your teeth. Your bones mean much more to you, but in actuality, it means so much more to them, because they going to take serums. They know how to utilize. Let me explain something to you. If you think people know how to grow great cannabis, and these people know how to make DMT, and they know how to make synthetic ayahuasca and synthetic shrooms, and they know how to make the perfect growing environment for shrooms, they'll give you the recipe to all of these different type of psychedelics. But they're not going to give you the ingredients and the recipe to elixirs of life that will give them years beyond what their life expectancy was ever supposed to reach. They're not going to give you that. Why you think Queen Elizabeth was alive for so long? These evil motherfuckers have the remedy and the recipe to specific youth serums, right? And one of their main serums is the chosen ones. Star seeds. because that star seed, the chosen one, their body have every mineral that is within the universe. And depending on what some of these Cabbage Patch Kids, some of these lab-grown people, or even some of the people that had placentas and had water babies, depending on where they was at in the realm of reality, because this realm of reality is bigger than you can imagine. There's a network that's living underground. There's a network that lives under the water. There's a network that lives in the water. There's also a network that lives above your head, but because of the chemtrails and the heavy metals and all the other poisons, they have certain camouflages that you would never see. You understand? Every now and then my eye get to phase out because I get to release a specific amount of heavy metals, and I can smell the heavy metals coming out my body when I piss. I can see the heavy metals vaporized in the air sometimes. The more and more I cleanse my body. That's why I would like for somebody to treat me to a mango and a key lime. If not, I get it my damn self. But the more pure I can keep myself, this is the more I can allow my ethers, as above so below, my roots to stretch, and then I could let y'all prune and pick more fruits from my garden, my mind, my safari. Your mind is a garden. So the elixirs to how these motherfuckers stay alive are the body parts of the newer melanin people. Some of the melanin people too, but that's going to be more like a great value recipe to the elixir of life, or these life serums that can extend their lives, okay? If you would take away the heavy metals, you would take away the lust, you would take away the greed for money. If you was to take away all those different things that will blur your true first eye and your true insight, your sight, and also the vibration of your heart, you will start to pierce even more through the camouflage and the veils and the heavy metals and poisons they have presented to block your first eye, to block all of your different brains. Because I told you, your heart is a brain, your kidneys is the brain, your liver is a brain, your colon is a brain. These are just not organs. These are different organisms that create this sacred, highly sophisticated, greatest piece of technology that is organic called your body. And everything outside you, to this cell phone, to the computer screen, to the G5 towers, is a replication of what you are possible of doing. You understand what I'm saying? See, the G5 towers is no different from the radio transmitter, just one section of your pineal gland that can send off and receive different radio frequencies, aka vibrations, right? Say my name. Who am I? I'm the motherfucking vibe, bitch. And these G5 towers have been perverted because their brains, these puss buckets and these other different motherfuckers, they do not have a soul. They may have a spirit, but they don't have a soul. And they are either the nobodies or the heartlesses. Your heart is your soul, okay? And their whole agenda is to take away and wipe out all the originals, the first and the last, primordial celestial gods and goddesses, the Eterians. We are the Eterians. We eat ether. We produce ether. We produce oxygen. We also produce carbon dioxide. We also, when you take a piss that is sulfuric acid, we produce all these different other chemicals. One of the main reasons why white people, puss buckets, The reason why they drink a lot of alcohol, they drink beer, because they need that poison to keep their systems running, to keep their spirits running. That is their gas. Without that, they would start to die even faster. It's no different from the Ether Nines, who has an esoteric spirit, an esoteric soul. This is esoteric information that I'm sharing with y'all. And see, what makes our soul run and our body run is the ethers that are surrounded around us, which is the sun, which is the moon, which is the sentient being called the beach of the ocean, which is the trees, the flush green oxygen rejuvenating trees, which you see in Arizona. Oh, those are beautiful mountains. In China, oh, that's a beautiful mountain. Those were big trees. Big trees. Okay, what do you think they get the Venus flytrap from? What do you think they get all the other carnivorous plants that eat different insects and animals from? These are the many replicas from the Forbidden Islands that they would never put on a map, because they don't want humans, or low vibrational motherfuckers, or nosy motherfuckers to go. They are islands with plants the size of humans, even bigger. You could see it on Mario. They show you on Mario that green eating plant. That's the Venus flytrap in this original state. And Mario is his little bitty body is the correct size to the comparison of these fucking man-made eating goddamn plants. I remember I grew up and I watched a movie with my uncle, and he showed me there's an island with man-eating plants. I remember having a conversation with one of my elders. I remember having a conversation with my uncle, and he told me that they got man-made eating plants. They got islands that are forbidden, that would not be foretold on any U.S. map, or you would not be able to Google map it, where these islands have man-made eating plants, the size that are bigger than men. These plants eat fucking men. They eat animals. When you see the Venus flytrap, that is a replica. Everything you see now has either been enlarged or has been shrunken from its true natural state. When you think about America itself, they call it a melting pot. But honestly, America is just the great value artificial flavor of each country put together. Okay, America want to be China, America want to be Africa, America want to be Russia, America want to be Greenland, Iceland, Poland, all in one. That's what America wants to be. You understand what I'm saying? That's what America has done. It may not have the culture until its fullest effect, but America have a piece of every culture in one. That's why people like America, because there's a piece of every continent, every rock, every different vibration of living mashed into one. It's called it's in America. Alright? Let's not get this shit misconstrued. What time is it? It's 3:22. I'm gonna try to go back to sleep after this one, because I gotta get some sleep. So, like I was saying, when I was a little boy, my uncle used to take me fishing. And I never understood it till why. But I remember I asked him, and he said, because I knew you could do it and you were strong. As a boy, you were stronger than the average kids. And at this age I am now, I'm stronger than the average man. Long as I do what's right to my genetic sequence, I could bring out the Hulk. And long as I gather as many particles of gamma radiation, I am a force to be reckoned with. And all Ether 9 neuromelanin people are the same way. That's why you're not supposed to be living where it's cold. You're supposed to be living in the area where the sun is always out. Thanks to the RS-25 machine that was made by NASA, which likes to block out your local sky. Shout out to the motherfucking airplane drivers that like to drop the chemtrails. They used to be the drivers that used to be in a mosquito truck, but they advanced, they got promotions, they went to training, and then they learned how to fly jets. And instead of just driving around the neighborhood of the neuromelanin of the melanin people, talking about we spraying for mosquitoes, a fucking bioengineered animal that they created in the fucking lab, they took this shit to the sky so that they could cover more ground. My hometown is known for this shit. I used to live down the street from a mosquito breeding farm. Because I used to always get from school. What school did I used to go to at the time? I used to go to the YMCA, Dryads YMCA that was uptown. I would get out of school, get off the school bus. I probably got done Joe Somali, yeah. And I walked her home. Now I'm about to go see my other little yeah. And on the way to her house, I had to walk past this big mansion. There was one. This big mansion had a big ass pool on the side. I always wanted to go swimming in. But I always saw this sign that said, this pool is not for swimming. This is a mosquito breeding pool. And I remember when I used to sneak out at night and I used to walk past that mansion, I used to always get attacked by mosquitoes worse than ever. And also, they also had a mosquito breeding pool in my neighborhood, down my street, that used to be not too far from Gregory. That was the name of a school a long time ago, I think before Hurricane Katrina. The name of the school was called Gregory, right? And they had a pool that I always wanted to go swimming in over there as well. But they had another sign, like it says, they're breeding mosquitoes, and this is not a pool to go swimming in, and no trespassing and buku other shit, you know. So they was breeding these fucking mosquitoes. They created these monstrosities. The mosquito is not an organic insect to this realm of reality. The cockroach ain't. The fly is not. What else could I say? A lot of these different fucking bugs is not regular bugs. They were bioengineered. And some of these insects belong to the insectoids or the insectilians, aka you will call the Chinaman, the Japman, the Philippine. They are another hybridized species also that comes from, you will call the grays, right? But they got many forms of these motherfuckers. So when I was small, my uncle used to always take me fishing with him, and I would pull out swamp monsters. I'm about 6 years old, man. I'll never forget this shit. I'm always pulling out swamp monsters, big ass fish that grown men should be pulling out. I mean, grown men that work, that drive the garbage truck, big fat grown men should be pulling out fish this size. I'm a little boy, man. I'll never forget this shit. Still to this day, even when I grew up and I became a young man and I was a teenager, he would want me to sometimes pull out these big ass fish, because honestly, not to be prideful, but anything I speak on in this story is the truth, and I don't have to lie about nothing. I don't get paid for it. Fuck. You know what I'm saying? Y'all hardly hit me up on Cash App, but those who do, man, respect. But anyway, I know I was about the highest age I could have been was 7 years old. But I believe I was 5 at this time. I don't want to say believe, because that's like you being in a lie. I know I was at least 5. I know I was 5 at this time. And me and my uncle, we was going fishing at a spot nobody ever go to. It was only a spot he knew about because we went somewhere that people don't belong. We went somewhere where people do not belong. And this is why I asked him one day, well, first of all, he showed me a movie. He also told me. And I remember I was somewhere and I saw a plant that was carnivorous that was bigger than me. But he would never reveal the location of where we went. And we went to many different fishing locations that had many different mysteries that they would call folklore, that they would say that's not real. Anyone could say, I'm on drugs, I'm bipolar, I got schizophrenia, I got bipolar, I'm ADHD, whatever they said at all. They even call me crazy. Whatever suits, whatever rocks they boat. But they can never say I'm stupid though. Because it's the truth. So me and my uncle, we going fishing again. We at some secluded area that humans or humanoid life forces are not supposed to go. But this is his fishing spot. And he a fool with that machete. And he a fool with guns too. He's a gunslinger, my uncle. He's a natural born killer. He's a killer. He's a slayer. He's a demon slayer. And he's a good wizard. He's good with witchcraft too. He's a jack of all trades. So me and my uncle, he's qualified to go to this because he had specific tattoos on his body. I used to always ask about, but he had never really tell me. And he had certain brands on his body too. You know when you get hit with that hot stick like you a cow. So I know he was in different shadow governments and different shadow organizations, and some that even the CIA, the government or the shadow government don't even know them damn selves. So I know he been in a lot of different leagues, and he's a survivor. A lot of his comradians have died in whatever missions they went on. Because this world is bigger than what you think it is. There's a lot going on that they would never tell you. That's just the way shit go. You know what I'm saying? That's how the boat is sank, because the water got in it. So, there's some solid motherfuckers out here. I'm one of these solid motherfuckers, but, you know, I'm speaking my truth. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. So I'm 5 years old. Maybe 5.5. Because I remember I used to suck pacifiers. And I remember I had specific pacifiers throughout my life. And I had this white cream pacifier that had the rubber around the ring. So I was definitely about 5.5 years old, because I stopped sucking pacifiers when I was 7 years old. So I remember all my pacifiers like they was my best friends, or like your favorite guns. So we going through these woods, you see all these signs that we do not belong here. And I see them, but fuck, I'm with my uncle. I ain't tripping. I ain't scared. Stop playing, bitch. My uncle a killer. You feel me? So what's in his bloodline is in my bloodline. So if I had to activate that, it ain't nothing. But my uncle, that motherfucker, is a killer. And I'm not trying to put his business out there. I'm not gonna say his name. I got multiple uncles, but this one uncle, he's a bad motherfucker. He a bad motherfucker, and he always kept me under his wing. 'Cause I'm a bad motherfucker. So our badasses, we going through these woods. We're somewhere going fishing. We don't have no place of belonging. And he always told me that I was his eyes. So I'm walking behind him. He walking in front of me. He got his machete on his back. It was the size of a spider. You know those silver trash cans? You know how they got the tops? It's big, right? You know how you about to bake a pizza or some shit and you got that round pan? Think about a spider being that size. So this spider came down, jumped off his web. I mean, big old thick ass web. Big old thick ass web. I mean, the web was like looking like somebody that got wicks. You know what I'm saying? Looking like a wick or some shit. Somebody who had some thick ass fucking antennas, thick ass dreads. That's how thick this fucking spider web was. This spider cut his fucking web, jumped off the bitch, and jumping at my fucking uncle. Jumping at him. And it was just like in slow motion. I was like, oh, watch out, it's the big ass spider. This nigga pushed me back. That nigga took that machete off his fucking back like he was Zorro or he was fucking Trunks. And he cut the fucking spider in half. And I'll never forget this shit. And in slow motion, I could feel through his telepathy, he telling me to back up. But he also said it orally too. And this fucking spider was leaking green, alien looking blood. Like this was fucking Predators versus Alien. And man, that blood looked so poisonous and toxic. It was lime green, bro. It was lime green. And I knew it was very acidic. Because whatever he wiped his, he had a towel. He always keep his rags, you know what I'm saying? And he wiped his rag off with that fucking, he wiped that blood off his machete. And he threw that rag away. He ain't keeping that one. No way, buddy. He was like, yeah, bro, don't step into that. Watch that. That shit could hurt you, bro. Don't fuck with that. Man, this man cut a fucking spider in half. That was the size of a fucking, a large pizza from fucking Pizza Hut. Domino's. You know them big ass metal pans, bro. I mean, the legs on this spider, bro, was probably like about 10 thumbs coming from Shaq, bro. This is how big, that's how thick the fucking legs on the spider was, man. This was not a original spider. This was not your regular spider, bro. This was a spider from Monsters Island. Wherever the fuck we was at, bro. Because my uncle, he not trying to go catch no small fish. This was before the Gaten War, the Garden War, whatever the fuck his bitch ass name was, would try to give you a ticket for getting fish a specific size. Like, my uncle is not trying to get no baby fish. This nigga only won't come home. He trying to come home with 2-3 fish, but these fishes is swamp monsters, bro. This nigga cut this fucking spider in half, bro. And I remember the blood was acid. You know what I'm saying? I remember this blood was acidic. It was lime green, bro. You feel me? And I don't know what they did to me throughout the years. I guess they wanted me to forget my true identity or who I am or what I came from. But it's slowly coming back to me. I mean, fuck, they didn't send so many fucking Delilahs and Jezebels and bitches to set me up. You know, they didn't poison me so much. They didn't put so much. I used to like to smoke cannabis a lot. I used to grow pounds. So I used to like to smoke it so much I had to grow my own shit. And you know, I had a couple Jezebels, couple Delilahs, you know, they met their demise, thinking I was going to be a Samson. They was going to Samson me. Fuck that bitch. And they would drug me from time to time, something that you would call a handler. But in my reality, in my perception, I thought that was either my Yaz, my woman's, or my girlfriends, depending on the vibration of their mind. But they always just bitches, you know. And they try to poison me all type of ways. Yeah, I used to like to take magic mushrooms too. They poison the fuck out of me the worst with that. Cause that shit, it even grows different than anything. It's a fungus, man. So, you know, I survived a lot of poisons that had a lot of alternations in my brain. I remember this one time, man, one of these Jezebels was putting methamphetamines in my blunt because I turned to an angry dancing bounce master. Like, I used to bounce dance and shit, but I ain't never shake my ass. But I used to always bounce dance. I could, no homo, but I could swiggle my wrist. I could swiggle my wrist. I could swiggle my waist better than majority females. Like, you know what I'm saying? My granny told me about the quarter nickel dime. If you don't know what the quarter nickel dime is, then I'll just break it down to you. The quarter nickel dime is the ultimate stroke. That's if you trying to get her sprung, you trying to get her right, you trying to make sure, like, you know, you trying to dickmatize this bitch, you gotta use the quarter nickel dime. That is the ultimate stroke. But it's in 3 different variations. But this ain't about none of this shit. I'm just giving y'all some fire ass shit. Giving y'all the truth. So the way that these reptoids, these reptilians, these shapeshifters, the way that they are even able to utilize their camouflage abilities and walk right among us, for the hybrids, the lizard people, even the insectoids, the insectilians, because they eat the 9 people. They eat melanin people. They eat children. There is a serum. That's why they have underground tunnels. That's why you could be a targeted individual. You could be getting gang stalked. You could be a chosen one. You could not be a chosen one. But once you speak the truth, or you witness things, or you saw things you had no business seeing, which obviously the universe wanted you to see it. But, you know, in the grand scheme of the universe, or the source, we are all puzzle pieces. And some of us is just the catalyst, you know. And the reason why they will utilize community harassment, they would attack you with the government, they will use V2K, MK Ultra, voice to skull, synthetic telepathy. They will use community harassment, community gang stalking. They will use witches and warlocks because you are a threat. I had an Asian provocateur told me, I never even knew it till I just knew shit was off and shit was weird because I'm living my life, man. Like anybody that live their life supposed to, but like I say, water is water, but there's a whole lot going on under surface. It's a lot going on under the surface, man. And see, some people just so superficial and shallow, they think that what goes on the type of the iceberg is the all be all. When actuality, the bottom of the iceberg is bigger than the top will ever be. Some people think they climbing to the top of the mountain and think they at the highest point of the world. But as above, so below. So if you think the top of the mountain is high, then the bottom of the mountain is way steeper and deeper, which there are caves and caverns and tunnels and root structures. But you think in your mind you're at the top of the mountain, but actuality you are at the top of a tree stump that used to be here. You know, they got it in your face, James and the Giant, Beanstalk and shit. I mean, they are entities that live above us. They're entities that live below us. They're entities that live right, camouflage with us. And they're entities that live in the water, under the water, above the water. There's different levels. It's different life forms. It's different hybrids. And it's different grand masters of these hybrids as well, where they originally come from. Okay? So the way that these bastard bitches get to live longer than what they supposed to, they just don't want to die. They just don't want to die. It's sad. They're trying to fight the inevitable. These vampires, cause shit, vampires exist too now. They exist too. I've seen a couple vampires. You know, I know it's gonna freak you out, but yeah, a lot of vampires, they live in Scotland, they live in Russia, they live in the UK. A lot of vampires live in Hawaii as well. I walked past a couple vampires. You could just tell by the porcelain skin. You could just tell by the skin tone of their skin that they are vampires. They have a certain remnants about their skin when I have came across these vampires in real life. I'm a traveler, right? I also astral project. Sometimes the universe forced me into astral projection, and I go places in real life that's going on in real life. Just like these witches or these warlocks, or they'll do some scrying, or they'll do their little magical shit. But I'm not making any concoctions. I'm not looking in any black glasses, any black mirrors, any black tourmaline. I'm trying to think of this other crystal that come from the lava. Or you could even create this black crystal yourself if you can get the lens from out of the big back TVs, the big fat old back TVs, the big old 62 screen big body TVs. They got a specific lens, and if you take that lens out and you level it righteous on granite rocks, you can create this type of crystal. What is it? Obsidian crystals, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, you could create your own obsidian crystals organically if you get the big back TVs and take out that specific lens. You understand what I'm saying? That's going to be a 10,000 degree magnifying glass that will make granite rock into obsidian. If I'm mistaken, somebody in the comment section let me know. But obsidian rocks also come from the volcanoes, right? Whatever rocks come from the volcanoes. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, because I got my mycelium network is stretching with so many truths to put this one video together, right? So if anybody want to look out for me, the Cash App is $781 THEVBYZ. If you respect my knowledge, wisdom, spirituality, and intellect, and my ultra instincts, and my astral projection abilities, and me for still being alive, surviving some of this shit that I dealt with in my life. You understand? Because I remember the last time I was in Hawaii, man, they was having some type of big ceremony, some big concert. It was over about 500 people. They was all sitting together. And I was just trying to walk to this little area where I go charge my phone at. And I swear to God, the hive mind is a motherfucker. They all turned around at one time. And the announcement got on the speaker and said, we have one of our enemies here with us. One of our enemies walk amongst us. And I was like, the nerve of this bitch. I know you talking about me. Because all y'all turned y'all head around and y'all looking at me. And I'm the only one here walking behind y'all. Going to charge my phone up like I normally try to do. Always going to charge my phone up. It's about time I give me a goddamn solar battery or some shit. This shit got to stop. Or I need to get a hand crank radio. You know, it's time I invest in one. I notice I'm always going to charge my phone up at places I don't want to be. But like I say, the universe just allowing me to put pieces to the puzzle together so everybody could see the whole image of what we should see and not what they want us to see. Not with the chemtrails and the heavy metals and the Captain Crunch and the ice creams and the Nutella butter and the peanut butter and all of these different chemicals that they sell in the store. That motherfucker say peanut butter, almond butter, but that bitch got 50 different recipes. Or the scallops, or the lobsters, or the oysters. I ain't gonna lie, oysters do be hitting back in the day. I used to like me an oyster po' boy, you hear me? But all of that, it does different things to your brains, to your pineal gland. You know, like I said, they call them organs, but they're different organisms. They're different brains working in your body. And if all the brains in your body are healthy, you know how more connected your mycelium network and levels will be to your crown chakra, completing more bridges for you and the universal knowledge. The universal knowledge, wisdom, spirituality, intellect for you to receive higher and greater downloads and upgrades. And utilizing different psychic abilities. But we'll talk about that maybe on the next episode. But anyway, where were we at? Yeah, that's why they created Halloween, all these pagan holidays. They give you all of this shit that rot in your teeth so they could take your teeth and they gonna create a fucking strong bone serum for their calcium deficiency asses. They got osteoporosis, or they got toxicities because of they cabbage patch. They are lab grown motherfuckers, and they need the real organic people of this realm of reality to keep them alive. You understand? Why you think white people hate us, aka the lizards, the reptoids, the hybrids, even the China man, even the African man? All the motherfuckers hate us. Even the Arab man. They all hate us. They all hate us, but they want to sell weave in the ghetto and in the hood. They even got some Starbucks in the hood. They want to integrate with us. They need our vibration, yet alone our vibration keep them alive. But motherfuckers want to have babies with their slave masters and these monstrosities and these hybrids and these insectoids and insectilians. And bitch, what her name is? Tina? Not Tina Marie, that's my baby. You know what I mean? I swear if I was old enough, I would have had her. Rick James had me fucked up. Not Tina Marie. Shit. She could beat the fuck out any man the way they did her. Tina Turner. What the fuck Tina Turner said? Bitch, what love got to do? Nothing. Talking about something. Yeah, you gotta love who love you. Bitch, that's bullshit. Talking about some romance. Bitch, you ain't no fucking Roman. What the fuck is this shit? Y'all been getting indoctrinated and mind warped. They put these spells on your bad boy. This language they call English is the motherfucker. And when we get back to utilizing our original language, oh man, these bitches are gonna be trembling even more. You know, the Arab man, the China man, even the fucking Caucasoid, old Viking ass nigga they call himself. They all know they fucking shit and they culture and they history. But those who they call the African Americans, even though we're not fucking African and we're not motherfucking American, we are the Eterians. That's our fucking names, the Eterians. But this is not our language, so we really are pronounced and we are named something beyond what they will ever tell us. But every now and then, I either could deep dive, receive certain downloads, upgrades, or I even come across one of these fucking pus buckets, one of these hybrids, one of these reptoids, reptilian lizard people. Sometimes it's an insectoid, an insectilian. You call it Chinaman, a Japanese man. They would drop certain specific informations to me if I vibrate righteously and I'm open to listen. They would tell me things about me that is in the fucking Vatican that they don't even want you to know that's in the Vatican. They would release this information to me. I remember it was a Chinaman. It was an insectilian. Like I say, I'm not hateful, I'm not racist, but bitch, if you don't respect us and you don't respect me and you hate me, I ain't gonna bring that same vibration back to you. I'm just not gonna fuck with you. Because I had a reptoid, I had a white man, a lizard man. He made one of my skateboards for me with no witchcraft. Because he was a blacksmith. So he blacksmithed one of my greatest hoverboards, aka one of my skateboards. And I hit the greatest fucking tricks on that bitch. Compared to I got Vibo Kitty right now. I met a Chinaman when I was in California because the bitch had put a hit on my head and the nigga put a hit on my head. So I had some big money on my head. And it was about to off my ass when I was in Cali. I was in Los Angeles. And this Chinaman, he taught me how to utilize and use my heart chakra. And he told me I only had 3 days to do it. Because if I didn't learn how to use my heart chakra within them 3 days, I would have been dead. I would have been off. You understand what I'm saying? And when I was in Cali, man, I made a lot of money. I used to sell drinks and shit out the cooler. Sell other shit too. I remember I used to walk down the street and just find bundles of $100 bills, bundles of 20s and shit. Just on the ground. And sometimes I thought to myself, like, I better not pick this bitch up. They might have some fentanyl, some poison on this bitch, or some drug that'll make me black out. But every time I picked the money up, I was straight. The universe was looking out for me like a motherfucker, like it always do. As long as I do what I'm supposed to do, and I live in alignment. And I respect my life force essence, and I make sure I circulate the blood healthy and keep my pH right and work on my gains. You feel me? The universe continuously flood me with abundance. I mean, if you're a chosen one, you a star seed, 144, even if you wasn't, but you doing righteously in the universe grand scheme of things. But it's not even a scheme, it's just, if you're willing to collect the pieces of the puzzle, then the universe will show you the way. But I never say that the journey would be easy. Because I remember one of my grandmasters taught me, I just call her Grandmaster Dragonfly, because she gave me specific information about dragonflies that you won't find on YouTube, you won't find on Google, you won't find on Rumble, you won't find in no book, unless you was a Mason or a Freemason. And I think she was either a Mason or Freemason or a Northern Star, but she had highly classified information about things that dragonflies do that I'm pretty sure is in the Vatican, because the information she had was passed down from her generational ancestors. So people from different alien groups, wherever they ancestors bestowed within them, they gave to me. And it happens like that from time to time. So, as I was saying, because I'm going to end this in a minute, I just don't like talking for this long. I like doing at least the longest I could do is like a 30-minute video, man. But it's a full moon right now, so my jokes ability is a little bit more amplified. But I do not like talking. First of all, I don't like talking at all. I don't. I like using telepathy. I don't really like using my telephone either. I like using telepathy, but there's not too many people that like to use that type of communication. I only come across a few every now and then that like to use telepathy, but I do not like talking at all, and I do not like talking for long. So this is about an hour video. We're going to be cutting this bitch short soon. The Cash App, you want to fuck with me, I ain't going to say it no more. $781 THEVBYZ. And whatever you drop is respected, is appreciated, love, and I generally fucking respect that. Because my life is different. I'm not able to do what everybody else is able to do. My journey is different. I'm just saying. I'm out here like Naruto, bitch. I ain't had no parents, bitch. My parents was the sun, the plants and the animals, and my ancestors, and my granny. I ain't gonna knock her. Bitch, I'm out here like Naruto, bitch. I'm out here like Goku, bitch. I'm out here like fucking Hercules, bitch. I'm out here like Yu Yu Hakusho, bitch. I ain't out here like you motherfuckers that could go clock in the 9 to 5. So I respect y'all for working hard and the donations y'all do hit me with. But honestly, the universe had a different plan for me, and I'm starting to understand it more and even love it more. Even though I would like sometimes to have the fancy things and shiny things and be able to have some of the things people have access to, but just like a painter need his paintbrush and a rapper need his microphone, I'm the universe, baby, and I need all of the elements that represents and that belongs to the cosmos, which is what you call all the minerals. So anyway, yeah, how these bastard bitches live longer than how they supposed to. That's why there's a lot of kids getting sex trafficked, a lot of kids missing, even a lot of people missing. I forgot the lady's name, but I think her name was Sarah Palin. She played the flute. But the lady I'm talking about named Sarah something. And after she died, after they killed her ass, her cells still was regenerating. It's probably, I shouldn't say this, but my bloodline my spiritual bloodline is Simeon Tokyo and motherfuckers like Wolverine with a little bit of fucking Professor X and Magneto. You know, because your heart has the same minerals and vitamins and metals that's inside the earth. And once you rearrange your earth, aka rearrange the letters in heart, you're going to get earth. And once you have the minerals and the vitamins and the metals inside your heart in a proper place, then you can utilize your magnetism and attract the things that you need, which is also another deeper philosophy of using your psychic abilities, because it's just not your brain, your cerebral, that is using your psychic abilities. When you're looking for something, aka you're using this psychic ability called dowsing, you are actually using two magnets, the magnet of whatever mineral or water source that you are looking for underneath your feet, maybe on the surface. Your heart has to be aligned with those same minerals, vitamins, or atoms, or energy, frequency, vibrations, which is also a psychic ability they call dowsing, but it's coming from the heart, right? But I'm gonna end this soon. I'm tired of talking. And like I say, man, these the way that these motherfuckers live long, like Queen Elizabeth, and they get these youth serums and shit, because the same thing that make your cell phone, the same thing that make these Tesla robots and these drones, the missing neuromelanin people, the melanated people, you understand what I'm saying? And those who have high vibrational organs, or healthy organs, that have a healthy pH. Some of these people get kidnapped from the blue zones in the world. The blue zones in the world are the healthiest places in the world. The blue zones are basically, one of them is in California. I forgot the specific name, but it's in California. Small place. And they don't smoke. They don't do none of that. They don't do anything that really is harmful to their organs. They are completely, strictly, very disciplined, dedicated, and determined to longevity and self-preservation. You can look it up, the blue zones in the world. Great places to live, great healthy oxygen, etc., etc. So, how some of these bastard bitches live long is the kids, they be sex trafficking. That's why they do a lot of sex trafficking. They do a lot of child trafficking. They do a lot of kidnapping of children, because children themselves are one of the richest minerals and vitamins on this realm of reality. And all those kids, they just kill them and alter them, and some are utilized and made into adrenochrome, you know. But it comes with an effect, right? It comes with a negative effect, because you are eating the pain of another organism, an innocent organism. So, for your pervertive reasons, because you want to live longer than what the fuck you was meant to live when you should have been dead a long time ago, they gonna create these serums called adrenochrome. They either gonna create specific serums with the highest potency of melanin, just like taking cannabis and you make wax, you make concentrates. So they kill thousands to 10,000s of black people, melanated people, ether 9 people. They extract the ether out of these people's bodies, and they create these serums, which allow these vampiric, evil, reptilian, shapeshifting, insectoid, motherfucking hybrid bastard bitches to live longer. Also, another one, how these people live long, because I saw these bitches twice in my life. I think I might see another one this time, but I don't want to see one where I'm at now, because I know that bitch is going to be real evil, going to be a big Ursula bitch. But, and I'm pretty sure it been calling me to the water, but I refuse to go to the beach at night where I'm at, because the place where I'm at is very demonic and dark, and I know being around the water at nighttime is not what I want to do. You know, only when I know the sun is about to come up. But midnight, in between 2:30 to 3:30, I'm not going to this beach at nighttime. Shit, the universe itself didn't warn me, do not do that. You go to the beach when it get dark. You can go to the beach before the sun come up. But when it's the darkest of darkest, no, you stay your ass away from that beach. Stay away from this ocean. Stay away from the water, because I done seen mermaids in Hawaii, and one mermaid almost took my ass under in Santa Monica, which would be some other stories once I let my throat chakra charge up again, because I'm tired of talking. But the reason why we speaking about mermaids, because if you eat the mermaid meat at the right time, that's why if you ever go to the canned meat aisle, they got some chicken. You right about some chicken, but they got some shit called chicken of the sea, aka which is mermaids, and the elites, and the reptoids, the reptilians, and even the insectilians, even some mermaids themselves who are hybrid, aka the people that live in Hawaii, they eat mermaids too. But the thing about eating mermaid meat is that you're supposed to eat mermaid meat at a specific time, because if you don't eat the mermaid meat at the right time, you could poison yourself. You could start to take on some of the features of the mermaid, and it could take over your DNA and your genetic structure more than what your natural genetic structure composed itself. So the mermaid meat has a strong effect, right? All of these different things, just like, for example, you can't pick cannabis and smoke it as soon as you take it off the tree. It has to go through a curing event. It has to go through a curing effect. It has to go through a curing period, right? No difference when you do alcohol, it got to go through its little process. No difference from when you're making wine from fruit, a fermented fruit, a rotten fruit. It has to go through the process so that it can be digested righteously without any harmful effects. But you are what you eat, whatever you eat, regardless. You know what I'm saying? Whether you eat processed fast food, junk food, you're a fucking cannibal, or you eating kids or whatever. It all has its effect, because your natural genetic structure has specific sequences, and the DNA unravels at specific times. The less oxygen that you let your body receive, that's the more that your genetic structure unravel itself, or you want to call it the RNA or the DNA. It unravel itself prematurely, which causes people to age faster, which causes people to die faster, to get osteoporosis, dementia, or arthritis. The more you eat is the less that you allow your colon, your gut, even your bloodstream to produce and travel oxygen. The more that you fast, that's the more that you allow in your bloodstream, your body, to receive oxygen and produces carbon dioxide and this nitrogen oxide and all of that. Like, for example, I remember I used to eat slightly, but eat the righteous things and have my teas. And I don't need no honey pack. I don't need no rhinos and shit. As long as I eat right, you know what I'm saying? I exercise, I get that blood circulation, and my second head will be big as a motherfucker. Especially if I got the connection and the vibration and the chemistry right with that female. Motherfucker be swole as a bitch. And I be like, it's hammer time. Motherfucker walk around like Thor, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a time and a place for everything. Especially under that moonlight, you know what I'm saying? With the candles lit, man, it's a time and a place for everything, man. So a lot of people don't know this, but yeah, the elites and the high up and the fucking Pope and shit, they eat mermaid, bro. But in the stores, the closest you gonna get is the chicken of the sea. Some processed shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why, they also say you also get the abilities, because If you ever watched Jackie Chan, the cartoon, they had the different talismans. Whenever you eat these specific animals, you receive they talisman powers. You understand what I'm saying? Like if you eat a hawk, or you eat a falcon, or you eat an eagle, okay, yeah, your eyesight will get better. You know what I'm saying? It will. Because you are eating the physical and the spiritual attributes of this animal. But also, like I said, there's two sides of the coin. Sometimes it's going to strengthen your roots, and sometimes it's going to strengthen your fruits. And simultaneously, the thing about a tree is that it grows 2 times in 2 different ways at one time. The root structure grows, and also the branches and the leaves grow so they can receive the photosynthesis. And they go hand in hand. The deeper the roots, the better tasting of fruits, the better tasting the minerals and vitamins and rich that fruit will be as it produces. You understand what I'm saying? And the greater the branches and the more leaves that this tree has, that's the more nutrients and ether that it can gain from the sun, which will also benefit the root structure. Now, depending on the location of this plant and the stigma and the pores, because everything have pores, it could gain more ether from the humidity. You understand what I'm saying? If you take a palm tree and you try to plant it in these 3 different areas, you take a palm tree and you plant it in Florida, in Miami. You take a palm tree and you plant it in New Orleans. You take a palm tree and you plant it in Tucson, Arizona. The greatest growth and the greatest rate that palm tree is going to have is because of Miami. Great sun, rich soil, and humidity. And I mean, humidity means there's a lot of H3O, H2O in the atmosphere that can be absorbed from the stomata and the stigma and the photosynthesis of the plant. No different from you and your pores. You understand what I'm saying? Because I am in a place that's not in America, but while America is fucking freezing, going through all this bipolar ass weather, where I'm at, it is fucking either gonna rain mildly, it's gonna rain heavily, maybe for like an hour, 2-3 hours or something. But majority of the sun is fucking, is beating. It's beating and it's heating. I mean, have you been seeing my skin tone? Have you been seeing my complexion? It's my ether 9 suit, my gamma radiation absorption has been phenomenal. You understand? I'm not making this about me. So, I think I covered how these bastard bitches be living longer than what they supposed to. Because they be eating fucking kids, or they be eating people that have high levels of neuromelanin. You know, your suntanning lotion. I don't use that shit. That shit stink. But the people that utilize the suntan lotion, what's in the suntan lotion? Neuromelanin. Dead people that they killed is in the suntan lotion. What is in those melatonin pills? People that have melanin that they kill. Neuromelanin people. They don't have that ingredient on that motherfucker. And there's a lot of other different components and supplements that they sell on the market that has dead people that they killed, have the ashes of dead melanin, neuromelanin people, or people that have healthy organs, but they're not going to put all those different chemicals in there. That's something between these inorganic beings that they hide amongst themselves. So they could feel like they're a blade and they could walk in the fucking sun like us. So, with that being said, it's time for me to get up, but I'm about to lay down for just about to meditate. I'm not about to go back to sleep, but I'm just about to lay back and meditate. But yeah, man. you had to call some of these different entities by their original name, and that would take them out of their shape-shifting camouflaging form. But you must have the heart chakra and the heart stability and strength to be able to face what you're going to see. Especially if you have not ever seen these entities or beings in their true form. To see someone that looked like a human, or a humanoid, shapeshift into what it truly is in front of your face, you got to be able to have a strong heart like that. Because your ass might faint, your ass might pass out, and they'll eat your ass right then. Kidnap your ass right there. You'll never wake up again. You'll be like, oh boy, what do they call that boy, a pendulum? Oh my gosh, this is all that's left of me. That bitch was straight metal and bitch had liquid lungs. You hear me? I ain't never seen whatever that little fucking meme came from, but every time I see that bitch be funny though. But yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. You know, for the Etherians, the Ethernines, you know, the melanated neuromelanin, that's warriors and gonna always be the rebels that they are. Yeah, to defeat some of these motherfuckers, you gotta call them by their original name, and then they'll turn into their original form, and then you could take them out like that, you know. And yeah, Arizona is the base, one of the major headquarters besides Australia, that the lizards, the reptoids, the reptilian, the lizard people, and the Grandmaster overlords, the draconians, like to reside under those mountains, like they call Superstitious Mountain. You could just look up on YouTube how many tales they got about the superstitious mountains that people went missing. They just find bones. Yeah. But even my phone said the storage space is running out, so I'm done being a chatty patty. My throat chakra about to go to the mechanic shop, about to recuperate, rejuvenate, and I'ma holler at y'all. Like I said for the last goddamn time. Any contributions, donations, the cash app will be $781THEVBYZ. Thank you to anyone and everyone that made it to the end of this video. All contributions, all likes, shares, comments, and subscriptions are respected. Peace and prosperity. Oasis. And if you're on the other side, you're going to meet our chaos.